Over the course of 2020 and 2021, I found myself falling into the world of K-pop. It wasn't just a simple interest, but a fascination. The intricacies of each performance, whether that be the color, costumes, strenuous dance breaks, or a range of vocal talents, they all seem to encapsulate a visually stunning world of entertainment. BTS in particular was a group that caught my attention. With a global fan base reaching millions of people, I wondered what made this group so different and powerful in comparison to other K-pop groups. Is it simply luck, or key marketing strategies that catapulted this group into global stardom? My research aims to examine the marketing tactics of BTS and how they've managed to globalize K-pop artists to create an empire like never before seen. When talking about the emergence of K-pop, a common phrase troped as the Korean wave is used to describe the time period when this genre of music started to become more popular in South Korea and surrounding areas. In 1996, Soo-man Lee created the first K-pop group called HOT after his initial fascination with MTV in the US and the popularity of pop music amongst teens and young adults. The emergence of this group caught the attention of the Korean government, who saw Lee's budding business as an opportunity in the midst of a financial crisis that followed suit in 1997. With this new stream of potential economic prosperity, the Korean creative content agency shifted their funding and focus from food to film, music, and entertainment in general. This wave of pop music gained popularity amongst men and women as groups such as Super Junior, SHINee, and Girls' Generation received a large following and traction as the wave hit other countries like Japan and China. To give you a better understanding of what makes up a K-pop group, I'm going to give a brief explanation of what makes up an idol, a term commonly coined to describe the members of Korean pop groups such as BTS. The term idol distinguishes the artist from other musical groups or entertainers. Idols are meant to represent perfection or ideal attractiveness in South Korea and many Asian countries alike. They often serve as role models for the youth as well and carry a weight of influence towards younger generations. In each group, there is a degree of separation between members and that they each serve a specific purpose or role. The roles include visual, dancer, singer, and rapper. These specific roles are prominent in almost every K-pop group today. Another important visual aspect of K-pop is their performances. Groups often marry music and dance in their performances along with a visual concept that represents the mood of the song. This isn't anything incredibly groundbreaking in the music industry, as performances often include music and dance. However, when it comes to BTS and many K-pop groups alike, powerful pop and lock movements are a big part of each performance. On top of the choreography, the visual concepts are usually drastically different from one another. So who are the Korean superstars who have amassed a global following of millions over the past 9 years and generated over $4.9 billion for the South Korean economy alone? BTS, otherwise known as Xiaodan or Bulletproof Boy Scouts, debuted as a group in 2013. The group is made up of 7 members: Jin, RM, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook. The group debuted with their first release in 2013, No More Dream, followed by the release of their first single album, Too Cool for School. Following the release of this album, BTS was awarded New Artist of the Year at the Melon Music Awards. They released 4 mini-albums, 2 full-length albums, and 1 special album following the award, helping them gain recognition through additional award shows such as the Japan Gold Disc, Gaon Chart, Seoul Music, Soompi, and the Asia Artist Awards. However, after the release of their first full-length album is when they started making global waves. In 2017, following the release of their hit song Blood, Sweat and Tears and second full-length album Wings, BTS was recognized as the top social artist at the Billboard Music Awards.
We still cannot believe that we're standing here on this stage at the Billboard Music Awards. Oh my gosh.
This was the first time the group was recognized in the US music industry and marked a milestone in the group's success abroad. Over the years, BTS released several albums such as Love Yourself, Map of the Soul 7, and BE. on top of their single releases and mini albums. As of 2021, the group has had 6 #1 hits on the Billboard Global 200. With the release of their hit single Dynamite, BTS was nominated by the Grammy Awards as the Best Pop Duo or Group Performance. Although they didn't receive the award, they made records as the first K-pop group ever nominated for a Grammy. In light of COVID-19, BTS also moved their concerts online, where they earned over 18 million in ticket sales, marking the event as the highest-earning online concert in history. After the release of their single Butter, according to the Guinness World Records, BTS broke the record for most viewers for the premiere of a video on YouTube, with 3.9 million concurrent viewers for its premiere on May 21st, 2021. 24 hours after the release, the single reached the highest viewed music video in the first 24 hours in YouTube history. Additionally, it was the most streamed single on Spotify with over 11 million listens in the first 24 hours. Given the group's growing popularity, there's little chance that their worldwide expansion and success is all due to luck. The strategies behind their marketing efforts and unique ability to create connections with their fans helps maintain a strong B2C relationship. And music is a competitive market that requires tedious and continuous upkeep to maintain relevancy for artists around the world. To gain a better perspective on their marketing strategies and goals, I'm going to analyze the 7 Ps of marketing and how BTS implements each topic into their marketing mix. First, let's take a look at the market segmentation to better understand the geographics, demographics, and psychographics of their target audience. Something unique about BTS is the power of their fan base, who they like to call ARMY. Quite impressively, their fan base was able to launch an online survey that collected data on the demographics of BTS fans around the world. The data analysis had 400,000 respondents as of 2020. This analysis is one of the most accurate representations of the BTS audience demographic, as no other survey has had such an immense response. So let's dive into the geographics. The survey concluded that there are active ARMYs in over 100 countries. The top 10 countries that had the highest number of fans were the US, Egypt, Russia, South Korea, Philippines, Indonesia, India, Brazil, Peru, and Mexico. Indonesia had the highest amount of responses, with over 20% of the fan base residing in this country. When it comes to demographics, a significant finding in the survey revealed that 50.3% of fans worldwide are under the age of 18, and 42.6% of fans are 18 to 29 years old. These two age brackets include Gen Z and millennials. The popularity amongst these two age groups shows why BTS relies so heavily on social media marketing, as these generations are the most active on social media. According to the survey, the majority of BTS fans are female, coming in at 86.3%, while 11.3% are males, and the remaining identified as non-binary or chose not to disclose that information. Education-wise, 36% of respondents had less than a high school education, while 33.3% had graduated high school. 13% of respondents had a bachelor's degree. When it comes to employment, 74.5% of ARMY are unemployed or currently students. 11.5% have a full-time job, and roughly 3% are self-employed. The remaining respondents were either unemployed due to COVID, working part-time, or retired. Given all of this information, we can conclude that the typical market demographic of a BTS fan is under the age of 18, female, living in Indonesia, and currently unemployed as they are full-time students in high school. This is a significant finding given the initial message the band used in their first album, School Love Affair. The album had direct correlations to the everyday lives of students and was the starting point for targeting this specific demographic. Something particularly interesting about BTS is the rate at which their audience consumes their music or buys products of their music. BTS has an array of social platforms they use, whether that be YouTube, Weverse, VLive, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Weibo, or Youku. The distribution of content across these channels caters towards heavy users. These users keep up with their content on the daily and even watch music videos continuously after its release to make sure the streams send the song to the top of the charts. We're going to begin by going over the product, or what they're offering to the customer. As it goes with any musical artist, music is the main product offered to the consumer. BTS, however, creatively and systematically produces music that expands their reach globally while speaking to the likes of every individual customer. Through their methodical lyrics, they're able to create meaning out of a song, even if their consumers don't necessarily understand all of the words. One of the most powerful marketing tools of K-pop is the use of English throughout their song lyrics. Most, if not all, of BTS songs have an English title, so they are easily searchable across various countries. However, the songs are not the only product offered to the consumer. Music videos. BTS and many K-pop groups alike produce music videos that encapsulate either a vibrant, upbeat environment or a solemn, dark theme. The visual aspects of K-pop are one of the driving factors in the genre's success. Each performance is visually appealing when it comes to the intricate dances, mixture of Korean and English lyrics, and variety of outfits. K-pop music videos today prioritize visual images that appeal to multiple sensory systems, and music video production has been soaring, partly because of K-pop's excessive investment in its visual presentation of music, according to Kim Suk-young of the Stanford University Press. One of the most important aspects of marketing is the implementation of either an ethos or pathos that draws the consumer in. This is precisely why their music videos are so successful upon initial release, some even reaching over 1 billion views in the first year. It's because they implement pathos to evoke some sort of emotional response to the content. Whether it be the lyrics to a song, the visual performance, or simply the theme of each performance, there is an emotional tie elicited to the viewer. BTS's performances encapsulate a story with lyrics that talk about depression, self-doubt, social pressure, and heartbreak. This is one of the most pivotal factors in BTS's success as a K-pop group. Their agency often allows them creative freedom to write their own lyrics touching on their struggles with mental health, social acceptance, and self-doubt. Competing agencies don't offer artists this type of creative freedom, which leaves room for a disconnect between artists and consumers. Fans are not just buying music as a product. They are buying an experience with people whose struggles and triumphs they resonate with the most. Now we're going to move on to the promotion of BTS, or how they make customers aware of their products. Promotions often coincide with the release of a new song or album. Prior to the release, the group teases the projects with photos, concept clips, and short teaser videos. To create anticipation for a new song, the label puts out 1 to 2 teaser trailers that include a visual of each member and a short snippet of the song to be released. The trailers come out anywhere from 2 to 3 days prior to the release of the full song and music video. These promotions highlight a new era that represents the theme of an album or a song. In a way, these eras are packaged like modified products that derive from a specific concept, acting almost in a way as a variation of a product line. Product placement in a global market requires an elevated understanding of domestic and international marketplaces. Cultural differentiation influences how products and services are introduced in the market. Physical ads in magazines, brand collaborations, and social media posts are some of the more obvious ways of promoting an artist. However, I wanted to focus on how their promotional strategy differs between South Korea and the US. Social media promotion and online ads are usually targeted towards both audiences as they have translations for multiple languages. However, there are some differentiating factors that show how they market their product for different audiences globally. So starting with the United States, collaborating with artists throughout the US is one of the strategies BTS uses to tap into more Western markets. Some of their recent collabs include songs with Megan Thee Stallion, Jason Derulo, The Chainsmokers, Steve Aoki, Sia, Halsey, Charlie XCX, Lil Nas X, and Nicki Minaj, to name a few. This cross-collaboration allows for the band to tap into foreign markets and create a presence amongst consumers of Western media. But it doesn't stop there. BTS has appeared on American talk shows such as The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, The Late Show with James Corden, and several other popular late-night shows. However, you may wonder how the band differentiates themselves when performing on shows that host some of the biggest musicians in the world. It's all in the performance. Rarely do Western artists marry dance and song in their live performances, as it's a particularly difficult and strenuous task. But this is precisely how BTS sets themselves apart from other performers in the US. They maintain the visual and auditory appeal throughout the entire performance and keep the viewer interested right from the hook. Since their debut, the group has expanded their concerts and live performances all over the world in places like Brazil, Canada, the US, Japan, France, China, and the UK, to name a few. By expanding into international markets, they're able to create brand awareness throughout the world and better serve the customers outside of their initial target market in South Korea. As mentioned before, Korean variety shows play a large role in the promotion of BTS. Oddly enough, BTS promotes less of their music on these shows and more of their personality. They're selling who they are as a person rather than their music. It's a deeper look into an idol's more relatable and human side, rather than this veil of perfection they've been perceived under. It's on these programs that BTS is pushed to embrace their more fun, lighthearted side. These shows rack up millions of views on YouTube alone and are often reposted with various subtitles in different languages. It just goes to show that their promotional efforts make their way into foreign markets without even having to target these markets in the first place. Variety shows allow the artists to showcase more of their personality rather than their talent, and it's a way for viewers to connect better with the members. Variety shows are usually lighthearted and humorous, and often strip away the mask of perfection that so heavily encompasses what it means to be an idol. Idols are able to act more freely on variety shows, and this form of brand awareness brings in more consumers on the basis of their personality rather than just their skills. Seeing the true personality of idols is one of the factors that plays into the parasocial relationship between consumers and idols. This is something we'll dive deeper into later on, as parasocial relationships play a critical role in BTS's success throughout the world. Another form of promotion in South Korea is live performances on shows like KBS World, Mnet K-pop, and M2. There's not much of a differentiation tactic here, as most K-pop groups debut new singles on shows such as these. However, the differentiation comes in the choreography, lyrics, and overall meaning behind the singles being released. While these shows are filmed and distributed in Korea, they're shared on global platforms such as YouTube, where they bring in tens of millions of views from around the world. Now we're going to analyze the price, or the value of the product the customer perceives. So what's free? One of the most pivotal formulas in their marketing strategy is the foot in the door method. Most music consumption comes at a small expense, whether that be a monthly subscription to a streaming service, or having to sit through ads that support the free versions of platforms such as Spotify and YouTube. However, BTS finds a balance between free and costly items through the foot in the door method. The main source for seemingly free content nowadays is social media. BTS is one of the largest social media presences to date, and they continue to use multiple platforms to produce free content. They were one of the first K-pop groups to have individual social media accounts, and just recently joined Instagram as well. They paved the way for more idols in the industry to share posts with their fans through their own personal social media pages. In the past, part of the prestige of an idol was their ability to seem untouchable. This lack of social connection with their fans may be the reason BTS decided to tap into this market and create a close-knit following online. Their interaction with their fan base and consumers is more personal, and creates a social community on such platforms rather than a simple following. Their presence on social media is strong. Platforms like Twitter and Weverse are updated daily with posts ranging from selfies, questions for fans, or updates on the group's success. On YouTube alone, they have music videos, behind-the-scenes footage, choreography videos, and dance practices for fans to consume. BTS music videos are released through their record label HYBE. This channel has 64.6 million subscribers, but BTS also has a separate channel from their label called BANGTANTV with 58.4 million subscribers and over 15 billion views. This channel is a culmination of their TV performances, dance rehearsals, behind-the-scenes interviews, vlogs, and fan cams. This content is free to view on apps like YouTube and VLive. This way fans have the opportunity to consume content and decide whether or not they want to invest more into BTS with no upfront commitment. Aside from their YouTube channel, BTS utilizes virtually all social media platforms, whether that be Instagram, Twitter, VLive, Weverse, or Facebook. They create free content for their viewers on these platforms. The content itself holds value if the consumer believes the experience to be worth their time. Content distributed online is a prime way to bring in an audience under the guise that something they value is free. But with all of this seemingly free content, BTS has to bring in some sort of revenue. So we'll begin with their brand collaborations. BTS is no stranger to collabs, with over 69 collaborations to date. Their portfolio ranges from brand ambassadors to endorsers for brands in apparel, banking, characters, comics, cosmetics, figurines, food and beverage, gaming, and technology. Their most recent collaboration with Louis Vuitton generated $436,000 in media impact value. Collaborations with brands often coincide with a track release or incorporate their music somewhere in the ad. BTS released their single Butter May 20th, 2021. Following the single's release, their collaboration with McDonald's, the BTS meal, was released May 26th, 2021. McDonald's released a commercial with BTS showcasing the specific meal along with the song Butter. The meal reached 1.2 billion sales worldwide in the first month alone. According to Jonathan Cohen, communications director at Listen First, when McDonald's unveiled a BTS combo meal last week, the fast food giant got 2.3 million responses on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. The meal was available in over 50 countries and proved successful for both parties. So besides brand collaborations, what do consumers pay for? Weverse. Weverse is seemingly a platform where users can create and consume free content. However, Hybe Labels founded the platform Weverse as a way for their artists to connect with their fans through posts, pictures, etc. Additionally, Weverse is directly connected to an e-commerce site called WeShop, where they offer exclusive paid content to members only. This site includes products such as merchandise, albums, educational content, keychains, phone cases, collaborations, and more. They also offer a membership tier that gives users early access to concert tickets, limited edition clothing items, and exclusive subscription boxes. Not only do they offer tangible items, but they also produce an online reality series called BTS in the Soup that fans can purchase and watch through the app. Weverse is the stepping stone for the foot in the door tactic, as they give consumers a small portion of content, but offer exclusive additional content through a subscription base. Album sales are a whole new beast when it comes to revenue for K-pop artists such as BTS. Like many other K-pop groups, BTS follows a formula for album releases that essentially profit off of multiple distributions of slightly different albums. BTS most recently released 4 different versions of the same album that have slight variations from one another. These differences range from color and concept of the album to a specific set of songs included. K-pop albums in general are branded in a unique way that separates them from traditional Western albums. They replicate that of a book and include pictures, posters, and special messages from the artists themselves. One of the most popular aspects of K-pop albums is the inclusion of a photo card. Each album comes with a photo card of a specific group member. This creates a sense of rarity and exclusivity. Additionally, in Korea alone, albums are often dispersed with special cards giving fans the potential to meet the artist. There's a select few distributed, so album sales spike the initial first week of release. This tactic offers an incentive for fans to buy fast and to buy big. The more albums you buy, the higher chance you have of finding a meet and greet card. While the chances are low, the incentives are high. The label markets albums in a way that rewards consumers with prizes that surpass the value of the album alone. But even in a world of promotions, BTS makes it a priority to promote the social responsibility that coincides with their brand image, beliefs, and values. Recently, the group spoke at the United Nations, where they were special presidential envoys for future generations and culture. They were invited by Korean President Moon Jae-in to speak on behalf of their generation and serve as a liaison between the youth and adults. Their purpose was to speak on issues such as the pandemic, public health, the importance of vaccinations, climate change, and the implementation of sustainable practices in future developments. As a way to include their fans in this conversation at the UN, BTS created a Twitter campaign with the hashtags YouthToday and YourStories, inviting fans to share moments in their lives that reflect the common themes in the younger generation. This campaign was a way for the group to include their fans in the conversation about global change through digital storytelling. In 2018, the group partnered with UNICEF for the hashtag End Violence campaign that aimed to prevent violence in schools. As part of the campaign, the group pledged to donate a portion of their earnings from their album Love Yourself to the cause as well. Additionally, BTS frequently donates to causes that revolve around hunger, violence, education, and poverty. A significant note to add from their donations is that their fan-base army often matches their donations towards specific causes. Now moving on to place, or making your products or services available at the right place, right time, to the right customers. In terms of music, BTS follows a fairly traditional roadmap for how they deliver their music. According to US BTS Army, BTS's music is available on streaming platforms such as YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, SoundCloud, Audiomack, and Qobuz. According to Billboard, in 2021, BTS had the most streamed song on Apple Music in the history of the platform. These platforms are the more efficient way to deliver a product to a customer, as they are instantaneous and available globally. Delivering their product through a third party is the most strategic way to get their product to their customer, because these platforms are already established and trusted by music consumers. Along with streaming, their music is delivered through live shows, television appearances, and concerts. Now we're going to move on to processes, or the delivery of the service being timely. One of the most strategic and engaging areas of their process is the release of their albums. The strategy creates anticipation for a product while walking the customer through the exact process as to how they'll be able to consume their media leading up to the release of an album. Before the release of a new song or album, BTS posts a schedule on their discography page that outlines the dates and times of events that coincide with a new album release. These events range from concept photos, live stream events, teaser trailers, and single releases. After the release of the full album, fans are still encouraged to engage in the process of consuming their media. Recently, after the release of their single Permission to Dance, fans were encouraged by the group through a dance challenge on YouTube to recreate their own choreography to the song. The delivery of their product does not mark an end of the consumption process, as fans are encouraged to engage with their product after the fact as well. It's an innovative look at the consumption process and allows consumers to maintain that initial excitement after the release of the product. Now we're going to move on to physical evidence, or the tangible clues that a customer should buy your product or service. In the digital age of music, marketing and distribution of music moves at a rapid pace. Most of the products distributed by BTS are delivered online, whether that be concert tickets, access to online reality shows, or music videos. The timeliness of their delivery is almost guaranteed, as customers are granted access to these products either instantaneously or immediately after purchase. However, physical products are still part of their process. Physical copies of albums and merchandise are sold through the Weverse shop. That includes international shipping. Weverse is the most common place of purchase, as it serves hundreds of countries worldwide, but albums and merchandise can also be found through Amazon, Walmart, and Target. Most of the evidence that persuades consumers to buy their products comes from user-generated content. Fans often post snippets of concerts and live events that give potential consumers a better idea of what to expect from the band. In some cases, full concerts are posted online. While it may not necessarily be legal, it's common for fans to post paid content for free on YouTube. BTS in the Soup is originally paid content, but it's commonly distributed on YouTube with translations available in various languages. The label itself will post behind-the-scenes content from concerts, but user-generated content usually creates a better picture of what potential purchasers should expect. Fans also show footage of themselves unboxing albums, merchandise, and other collectible items. This way consumers have a pretty good idea of the product they'll be receiving based on online reviews. Now we're going to move on to people, or those who work to create the product that is BTS. The members of BTS are the face of the product and have direct influence over how their brand is perceived. They are the brand image that promotes self-acceptance, diversity, and inclusivity. They manage the brand in various ways, whether it be through the lyrics of their songs, over a live stream on VLive, or during a live performance in concert. They are the ones directly cultivating and maintaining the brand image of BTS. That poses the question as to how they managed to create a global brand, as the majority of the members were born and raised in Korea and mainly speak Korean. While over the course of their success abroad, the members have individually and collectively worked to engage with their global audience. Certain members take English classes so they can better promote their product to English-speaking audiences through interviews, songs, and social media engagement.
The tour has been, we got love and energy and support from.
Additionally, at the start of their careers, it was common for the group to create Japanese versions of their songs. This required each of the members to learn Japanese lyrics for songs exclusively targeting their Japanese-speaking audiences. As they've evolved over the years, however, the group has changed this strategy to create more English songs, as their target audience has expanded further than just audiences in Asia. Alongside Mandarin, English is one of the most widely spoken languages in the world today. BTS works to engage these various audiences by individually and collectively working to diversify their product to fit in with different market segments based on language. Those working behind the scenes are the ones truly crafting the final product that will be shown to the rest of the world. BTS was created under the label HYBE, formerly known as Big Hit Entertainment, so they garner most of the control over who works with the group. The label is run by HYBE CEO Jiwon Park, HYBE America CEO Lenzo Yu, along with Scooter Braun, and HYBE Japan CEO Hyunrak Han. This distribution of leadership allows the label to have an elevated understanding of three major markets for K-pop: South Korea, Japan, and the US. These people serve to assist in the global expansion of BTS. On a production scale, those responsible for assisting in the creation of BTS include concert staff, HYBE label staff, production teams, photographers, choreographers, makeup artists, wardrobe designers, set designers, music producers, social media managers, graphic designers, and videographers, just to name a few. In an interview with Kathy Kim, a former concert coordinator that collaborated with the BTS team, she explained that for the concert tours there were anywhere from 150 to 200 people working on the concert production alone. It's difficult to find information on the staff that works with BTS, as they work with highly influential and sought-after artists. To protect their staff from harassment, HYBE doesn't release much information in regards to who works for BTS. However, given the sheer amount of people who had to work on a single concert alone, you can estimate around the same number of people are required to assist in concert tours, music videos, and production for their online series BTS in the Soup. So why does this mix work so well? While their marketing strategy may seem easy to recreate, it's not all that simple. Their ability to tap into the psychological factors of their audience has a lot to do with their global impact and ability to resonate with fans around the world. To conclude, I'll be examining the parasocial phenomenon and psychological factors that influence how the band has been so successful in South Korea and all around the world. I found these two subjects extremely interesting because they tend to cross-reference several different P's. These factors reveal how different areas of strategic marketing intertwine and support one another. BTS connects with fans in a way that creates emotional ties and investments to each of the members. Fans have access to connect with members in a way that has historically never been done. The use of social media and online content opens the conversation around parasocial relationships. When defining a parasocial relationship, it refers to a relationship that a person imagines having with another person whom they do not actually know, such as a celebrity or a fictional character. This often involves a person feeling as though they have a close, intimate connection with someone who they've never met due to closely following that person in media, such as TV shows, Instagram, Twitter, videos, podcasts, etc. They're often discussed in the context of social media and other online platforms that allow celebrities to directly interact with fans or followers. This is all according to dictionary.com. So this is a topic that has gained interest over the years as more consumers or fans feel like they have a connection to a certain person they follow online. This relationship is often one-sided and a result of the artist or influencer sharing a large portion of their lives on social media for their fans to consume. This insight is far more personal than any sort of artist-fan interaction we've ever seen over the years. In BTS's case, they often share a lot of personal moments in their lives, whether it be celebrating their birthday, emotional behind-the-scenes footage after a concert, talking about their mental health struggles with depression and anxiety. Their album Love Myself even depicted the group's struggles with learning to love themselves and social acceptance. They document their first time traveling to new countries or foreign places. We get to see insights on their relationships with one another.
이제 각자 이제 시간이 생기고 어색해진 면이 있었거든요, 비영한테.
They often show the process of writing lyrics for songs and the meaning behind them, or even personal films that they've created themselves. This deeper look into their lives allows fans to connect with the artist on a much deeper psychological level, rather than just enjoying their music. The viewer feels as if their participation in the experience creates a tighter bond with the artist. The behind the scenes of these moments that are seemingly so personal allow fans to tap into a deeper, emotional part of their lives. But aside from parasocial relationships, one of the major contributing factors to their worldwide success is their transparency about mental health and personal struggles with mental illness. BTS taps into the psychological factors of their market demographics by openly talking about their struggles with mental health in their music, through their live streams, or via posts on social media. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, statistics show that South Korea has a relatively high suicide rate, at 28.1 per 100,000 people, which is more than twice the average of most other countries. These rates have a positive correlation to anxiety and depression as well. 25.4% of Koreans experience at least one mental health concern, such as suicidal ideation, depression, anxiety, or substance abuse, and less than 10% report reaching out to psychiatrists, mental health specialists, or religious leaders for mental health services. There's far more stigma related to mental health disorders in Asian countries compared to the US as well. This lack of transparency about real-life struggles leaves few outlets for these individuals to seek help. Rates of anxiety and depression are also significantly higher amongst Korean youth compared to the rates of alcohol abuse in older generations. In a study completed by Kim Richardson, the researcher found that rates of anxiety, depression, and suicidal ideation amongst first-year middle school Korean females were higher than males. So where can one turn when they're dealing with a mental disorder that is too taboo in their culture with a lack of resources? Well, this is where BTS comes in.
When I feel bad, BTS reminds me of something I thought I had forgotten. They remind me not only of happiness, but of all the other feelings between sadness and euphoria.
But their music, for a lot of people, I think it's kind of like a life support, because if you have a bad day, you like listen to your favourite song and suddenly everything's a lot better.
That's why without them, I wouldn't be myself, because I think I probably would have lost myself somehow.
While music is in no capacity a substitute for psychological care, BTS's music serves as an outlet for those with repressed feelings of anxiety or depression to relate on their struggles with mental well-being. Their music is one of the few sources for people in South Korea to talk about mental disorders. Going back to their market demographics, 50.3% of their fan base is under the age of 18, while 42.5% are 18 to 29. Over 85% of their fans also identify as female. So, their target market aligns with the demographics of those dealing with anxiety and depression in South Korea specifically. Their marketing strategy taps into the psychological factors of their market demographic, which is typically young females dealing with depression or anxiety. But this influence and awareness about mental health is not solely in South Korea. Mental disorders are universal, whether you live in a culture that openly talks about it or not. And according to the World Health Organization, globally 1 in 7 10 to 19-year-olds experiences a mental disorder, accounting for 13% of the global burden of disease in this age group. BTS taps into a common psychological pattern amongst their target market and uses their personal experiences to resonate with the struggles of the youth. There is far more to their marketing strategy than the frequent social media post. BTS has recognized their market demographic and how they can tap into the budding phenomenon of parasocial relationships and the psychological patterns that are common amongst their consumers. So now we're going to move on to the recommendations for future marketing. Seeing that BTS has already made strides in international markets, it may seem as if their marketing mix is untouchable. However, there are a few areas of improvement that could help them in their promotional strategies and expand their target market even further. The emergence of TikTok over the past few years has shown the global impact of social media platforms. At this point in time, BTS utilizes TikTok the least, and they usually post infrequently on the app. And the average TikTok user is between the ages of 10 and 29, which is a close reflection of their current target audience. Another recommendation would be to create more personal content such as vlogs and home movies that emphasize this parasocial relationship. These relationships are a defining factor in their marketing strategy and allow viewers to see a more personal side of the artist while further strengthening the parasocial relationship. A final recommendation would be to incorporate more AR or AI content, as these concepts have grown with the emergence of platforms such as the metaverse. BTS has performed online concerts before, but have yet to dip their toes in virtual reality. Recently, ABBA spent 5 weeks with AV wizards at Industrial Light and Magic, who have used advanced motion capture techniques to create virtual copies of the band that behave accurately in every way, from their dancing to their eye movements, according to Bernard Marr of Forbes magazine. They were even able to de-age the performers so they would better resemble how they looked when their music was at its peak. This form of AR and AI entertainment has the potential for long-term growth and customer retention. If consumers are able to go back and see a band such as BTS 20 years from now in their 2022 form, it would revolutionize the concert experience as it combines nostalgia with the present moment. Additionally, it would cut the cost of the band having to travel internationally to perform for audiences abroad and make the concert-going experience more convenient for the consumer. So whether you're an avid follower of K-pop or not, there's no denying the power and influence BTS has over the global market. Marketing aside, there's something special about this group and how they're able to captivate an audience through their music. There's no formula that promises global domination, as there are layers of psychographics, external forces, and internal strategy that all influence the success of a product, or people in this case. It seems as if BTS has cracked the code in their marketing strategy and shown the world that they truly are bulletproof.